Greetings everyone. Ever since Capcom revealed Mega Man X Legacy Collections 1 and 2 last week in the new X Challenge mode, where you can challenge 2 Mavericks at once, I have been thinking about some different Maverick pair-ups that would satisfy some different requirements for me. Whether it be challenge, or make it an interesting fight, or satisfy my story lore fantasies for the series. And after some days of thinking, I think I have a refined list that satisfies some of these requirements. So today, I'm going to present to you my top 10 most wanted Maverick matchups for X Challenge. Now, a couple ground rules before getting into the list. It's already been confirmed through some screenshots from Capcom that bosses from X's 1 to 6 can cross over. We don't know anything about 7 to 8 right now. So I base these matchups on that evidence alone. So only X's 1 through 6 are eligible for this list. And I'm going to try not to think too much on the boss arena, except with a couple of exceptions in this list, but it's strictly just for those purposes of those specific numbers. So, with those rules out of the way, on to the list. The Duel of the Predators, the Bear and the Wolf. Now, these two Mavericks claim the number 10 spot because of their antithetical attack styles. Grizzly Slash tends to attack you with his C-shot projectiles by jumping in the air and drilling through the different surfaces in the room so that there's nowhere to escape from him. Whereas Blizzard Wolfang tends to stay on the ground and actively hunt you down. And he does have an ice projectile if you try to jump up high and escape him. Now on the surface, this may seem a bit unfair, but it isn't, because Grizzly Slash's attacks tend to be very slow with the exception of his drill maneuver, and there's a lot of recharge time between his attacks, so that gives you enough of an opening to dodge both him and Wolfang's onslaughts. And I'll go ahead and say now that this is not the only pair of bosses on this list that have antithetical attack patterns that I like, which leads us into Izzy Glow and Metal Shark Player. Now you may be thinking, how the hell is this supposed to work? Well, for this to work, we need to assume that we're in Metal Shark Player's boss chamber. Now the way Metal Shark Player typically works is that he will dive into the junk and try to re-emerge and attack you from underneath, Wheelgator style, or he will try to float along the ground to pursue you, or throw metal anchors at you. But you can use the walls to easily escape any of these moves, and that's where Izzy Glow comes in. Because between Izzy Glow's teleportation, his homing laser shots, or his other laser beam where he can attack the floor and the walls, he can use it to make it much harder for you to escape from Metal Shark Player, and make the player make a difficult choice as to which of these two Mavericks needs to go down first, so you can resume the fight as if they were from their home game. It's an interesting fight, if I say so myself. Requires a bit of strategy from the player, and that's why it takes the number 9 spot. And speaking of another interesting matchup, Storm Eagle and Slash Beast, another potentially dangerous combination. With Slash Beast, much like Metal Shark Player and Grizzly Slash before him, he tends to stay on the ground to actively hunt you down. However, he does have a jump attack that he will use to prevent you from using the walls as an escape route, but it's not very reliable. Enter Storm Eagle, who will attempt to blow you around and mess up your speed, or to dive bomb you to force you to ground. And if you're forced to ground as X against Slash Beast, that's a very dangerous proposition, as Slash Beast could easily kill you. So, once again, it's up to the player to decide which of these two Mavericks needs to go down first. The less dangerous Storm Eagle with his inconvenient wind attacks and dive bombs, or the more dangerous Slash Beast who stands the higher chance of killing you. The choice would be yours in this fight. Flame Mammoth and Magma Dragoon, my favorite two flame-based bosses from the X series. Now, there's probably some people screaming right now, oh my god, this is gonna be hard. Not necessarily. See, Flame Mammoth, he tends 60% of the time to jump towards you to close the distance, though not very quickly. He's kind of like Grizzly Slash in that regard. whereas Magma Dragoon will Hadouken you at medium range, Shoryuken you at close range, and if you're too far away, he'll try to jump and close the distance between you. Now, what will balance this fight out is if Capcom provides us with the double Cyclone. Magma Dragoon suffers from Spark Mandrill Syndrome, so you can use the double Cyclone to stun him temporarily so that you can focus on dodging or attacking Flame Mammoth and getting him out of the way. So, see, it's not so bad. Plus, I just wanted to see this pairing happen. I mean, this is more of a personal thing of mine. You may disagree with me, but I want this to happen. Oh boy, I can hear it coming from a mile away. Blizzard Buffalo, are you kidding me? He just mindlessly charges you most of the damn time. How is this any fun? Well, you won't think that when Crystal Snail's interjected into this. Between Crystal Snail's ability to close the distance quickly, Crystal Hunter you to free you, or even slow down time, I don't think you're going to find Blizzard Buffalo so easy when you're running at half speed or totally frozen, now is it? Yeah, you could finally turn Blizzard Buffalo into a proper hard fight with Crystal Snail's time-altering abilities. But Crystal Snail's not so fast that it'd be unbearable. There are ways to mitigate his attacks. You can stop him from slowing time down, you can stop him from firing Crystal Hunters, you can stop him from attacking you altogether. This comes down to the skill of the player and know what they're doing. So that's why I think this would be a really fun and engaging battle. Magna Centipede and Dark Dizzy. Now we're getting into the really good stuff. Now what do these two Mavericks have in common? They can go anywhere in the room that they want to. Dark Dizzy can fly where he wants. Magna Centipede can teleport where he wants to. So you have to be constantly aware where these two bosses are located in the room at all times, as Dark Dizzy will either try to collide with you or fire bats at you, or Magna Centipede will attempt to draw you in and remove your powers one by one. So you have to maintain constant situational awareness during this fight in order to stay alive. Now, Dark Dizzy does suffer from Spark Mandrill Syndrome, so you can knock him out temporarily from the fight. And Magna Centipede's powers can be reduced, Armored Armadillo style, by firing Silk Shot at him. But still, that doesn't change the fact you need to be aware of where they are at all times. Basically, if you got ADD, this is not going to go well for you. And I say that in the nicest way possible. Please don't get angry. I believe I have come up with a dastardly combination for the number 4 slot between Overdrive Ostrich and Ground Scaravage. But for this to work, we need to pretend that this is going to take place in Overdrive Ostrich's boss arena with all the sand dunes. So, Overdrive Ostrich will behave exactly like he does in X2. He'll chase you down, he'll jump and fire Sonic Slicers at you, or he'll come in from the background for a dive bomb attack. Now, throw Ground Scaravage into the mix where he's going to constantly try to hunt you down while rolling that boulder around of his. And if you get too far away, he could just chuck it at you in an attempt to damage you. So while you're dodging Ostrich's attacks, you have to be constantly aware of where Scaravage is located so you don't jump into him by accident. Or you're going so slow that he rolls over you with his boulder. Now, your saving grace in this fight will be that both bosses are susceptible to Spark Mandrill Syndrome, provided their weaknesses are given to us by Capcom. So Crystal Hunter for Overdrive Ostrich, Yammark option for Ground Scaravage. That will balance out how hard this fight can be. But if you're doing this Buster only, good luck. And moving on to another pair of bosses that could be a problem. Armored Armadillo and Shield Sheldon. Man, I must really enjoy pain because this fight is going to be sensory overload, as there's going to be a lot going on screen. Between Armadillo bouncing around the room like crazy or firing his laser shots on the ground, to Shield Sheldon teleporting around the room and throwing the two halves of his shell all over the place. Good God, there's going to be a lot going on. The only thing that will spare us in this fight is if we get Spark Shot to deal with Armored Armadillo's armor so he'll quit rolling around, or at least make him damageable when he tries to roll around, and Metal Anchoring Shield Sheldon to make him stop for a moment. These two don't suffer from Spark Mandrill Syndrome, but you can at least slow them down. But it's going to be tough, even with their weaknesses, and I enjoy a challenge. This is me saying that, and I'm a fan of Dark Souls. Maybe I shouldn't be picking these bosses for casual players. Perhaps I shouldn't be giving Capcom ideas. I'm already close to the end of the list, can't stop now. As a fan of the lore of the Mega Man X series, this is a matchup that I've wanted for a very, very long time. Launch Octopus and Squid Adler teaming up against you. Ever since I played Mega Man X5 for the first time and discovered that Squid Adler is related to Launch Octopus, I've wanted to see these two team up against X to show off their prowess. This has nothing to do with what boss arena they're in, what abilities they'll have, is the fight balanced, is it hard or easy, none of that. This is purely to satisfy my personal fanfiction fantasy of seeing these two calamari twins work together to destroy you. But I do believe that there is a combination that is even superior to these two, and that combination claims the number one spot, which is... I believe I've saved the best for last. Storm Eagle and the Skiver working together. And how fitting that I'm pairing my favorite Maverick from the X series, Storm Eagle, with my favorite Maverick from X5, the Skiver. They both control the wind, they both fly around, and they both attempt to dive bomb you. And Storm Eagle likes to blow you around, whereas the Skiver wants to punch you in the face and send you flying to your doom. With those powers combined, I think this will be a very engaging, challenging, and fun battle to play, regardless of what special weapons are provided or what arena we're fighting them in. I want this battle just as badly as I want the Launch Octopus Squid Adler battle. Please, Capcom, please put this one at number 2 in the game. And ladies and gentlemen, that does it for my list of the top 10 boss matchups that I want for X Challenge in Mega Man X Legacy Collections 1 and 2. Do you agree with my choices? Do you disagree? Am I an idiot or am I a genius? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and if you really enjoyed my content, subscribe to me. Do it today, become a future minion. And that's all I've got for y'all today, so thank you so much for watching. I'm out.